Do your problems frustrate you? Or do you ever wonder, why do I have so many of them? Well, my spirit guide, Mother Mary of Unconditional Love, she came to me and said she wants to talk about that. She wants to share with you higher guidance is going to help you with dealing with your problems, how they actually, what they really are. She wants to share with you what every problem really is, how to solve those problems so that that you're having in your life, and give you intuitive downloads that come through as we're creating. Because I'm Deepa, and welcome to my Sacred Art Studio. And it's a place where we connect with spirit through the spirit guides. Um, Use our creativity, our creative powers with spirit to grow spiritually, have divine experiences, and help you get out of your head and into your heart. And that's one of the biggest reasons why your spirit guides show up, is that you may be an overthinker, somebody who's so much in your head, always thinking, always trying to figure that out. What's going on, probably trying to figure out your problems. Is that you? I'd love it if you share in the comments, whether you're watching this live or in a replay, if that's you. Are you an overthinker? Are you someone who is always trying to figure out your problems? So we're going to invite in the spirit guides through ringing this bell. If you have been here before, we ring the bell to say hello to the spirit guides. We're going to invite in Mother Mary of Unconditional Love and whomever else of the spirit guides wants to show up to share with you about problems and to give you intuitive guidance. All right, so let's ring this bell. And it is all about how do we create that sacred space. All right, it's about creating sacred space, not just in the physical space, but most importantly, within your space, because it's the most important sacred space, is awakening that sacred space within you. And that is what it's all about in the path of awakening, is about how do you awaken yourself to your sacred self, to the true spiritual being that you are, okay? So let's get going, ringing the bell and invite in the spirit guides. And as I ring this bell, I want you to just feel the resonation to say hello to your spirit guides. All right, so we're going to take that moment first and breathe deeply into the belly. You can take that moment to close your eyes and breathe into the belly, where the belly rises with the inhalation and falls with the exhalation. And breathe in again deeply into that belly, where it rises with the inhalation and falls with the exhalation. And just continue to breathe in and out at a pace that's comfortable for you. And I'm going to begin with ringing the bell. Hello, spirit guides. Hello, Mother Mary of Unconditional Love. We invoke thy presence into this space, into this physical space, into our inner space. Here in my Sacred Art Studio, here in your space where you're watching and listening. We invite in all the spirit guides that are here to bless us, to help us with the higher guidance that we need to overcome our problems, to overcome our stuck places, to overcome any fears and limitations that we put on ourselves. So as you feel the resonation of the bell, allow yourself to feel the vibration, the blessings of Mother Mary of Unconditional Love, and to any spirit guide that is here to bless you, because you have a spirit guide. You have more than one, but there is one that's here today to help you with the blessings of overcoming with your problems. So feeling the resonation of the bell, letting it penetrate every fiber of your being. Say thank you. Thank you to the spirit guides that are coming forth to bless you, coming forth to guide you, coming forth to bring you into divine flow. Say thank you. Okay. Oh, birthday, thank you for saying hey. We're going to light the candle. And the candle, the spirit guides want me to light. It's actually a ghee lamp. I always say candle, but it's a ghee lamp. And the ghee lamp carries the energy of what they say, Divine Mother of Spirit. And we're lighting it because of the energy of transformation. The spirit guides want you to invoke this energy of transformation because that's what the spirit guides are here to help you with, to help you transform all the struggles in your life into what they truly are. All right, and just allow that flame of the ghee lamp to bless you with the energy of transformation, because fire transforms on the physical plane, and it is one of the elements that truly helps to transform things from one form to another. And that's why Mother Mary wanted me to bring it forth. So she wants me to start with what every problem you have really is, because she says what most people have when they have problems is what? Frustration, right? Frustration, worry, and you don't even really understand why you have problems, right? If you're that way, I'd love to see you put it in the chat or in the comments. You know, like, do you ever wonder why you have these problems? Okay, because problems are not really problems. And this is the big message Mother Mary of Unconditional Love wanted me to communicate to you, is that problems are actually, when you're on the spiritual path, when you're on the path of awakening, when you want to grow in any way, problems are actually opportunities. All right? Now, you may have heard something like that before. Okay? There are no problems. There are only opportunities. But the thing is do you believe it? Now, if you believe it, when the problem happens, you won't get frustrated. You won't worry. You'll be like, where's the opportunity? What's the opportunity? And that's what Mother Mary wants you to get. Like, you know, all of this, the spirit guides come in with this higher consciousness to help you get beyond your programming. Now, she wants you to get, there's not anything wrong with you if you worry about it or you get frustrated. But that worry and that frustration is your subconscious programming that tells you you should get frustrated and worried when you see something that you perceive as a problem. Because she's saying there are no problems. And she's bringing it a little bit further. She's saying there are no mistakes. Because she's saying, like, if you have a problem or you do something that you perceive that was a mistake, you probably think of that mistake as a problem. And she says mistakes and problems are kind of in the same category. Okay? They bring emotional stress. They get you in your head because all of a sudden you're trying to figure out, how do I fix this problem? Ooh, I did a mistake. What do I do to change this? Okay? And she's saying that if you start to adopt the energy of, there are no problems, there are only opportunities. And here's what she wants you to really get, okay? That the opportunities, these are the opportunities, because you're going to go how is this an opportunity? But every problem, a perceived problem that you have in your life is an opportunity for spiritual growth, an opportunity for expansion, an opportunity for learning, okay, about spiritual truth, and being able to bring your consciousness to a place where you can start to understand the spiritual laws that are operating in your life 24/7, okay? It also is an opportunity that's going to lead you to your desired goal, okay? We often think that, oh no, this is the obstacle to me getting to my goal. If you've been here before, you know, you've heard me talk about one of the first experiences I had when I was in my 20s was about me wanting to buy a house before I was 30, and I was 24, and I wanted to buy this house before I was 30, and I was saving money, and I kept affirming and saving a little money, but I was saving $50, $100 a month, which was never going to get me to get that house before I was 30, living in one of the most expensive housing markets, which was in California in the Bay Area. And so what happened? You know, I got laid off from a job. And I thought, oh my God, this is like messing me up. How am I going to like get the money? But it brought me to a sales job that, brought me even more money. Now, because I didn't understand all the spiritual laws back then, and that might be where you are. You might be someone who understands them, but I was back then not understanding them. I do now. But back then I was like, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I was crying, because I lost my job, and then frustrated and upset, and kept going for a marketing job because I was in marketing and not getting it, being the last two. And finally, I had been getting like guidance from coming through people, from other ways of I should go into outside sales. And I kept going because I was afraid. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And so I got laid off from the job so I would actually take the sales job. See, so it looked like a problem, but when I started to go, okay, well, what's trying to happen here? Because I keep going for the job interviews for marketing, getting down to being the last two people, and they would pick the other person. And so my spirit guides were trying to get me down to go to that sales job because the marketing job was never going to get me that house by the time I was 30. But the outside straight commission sales job did. Okay? So it's an opportunity, the problems, if you move forward, if you continue to stay connected to higher power, to spirit, to your guides, and listen to the intuitive guidance, see, then it is going to lead you. It is an opportunity to lead you to what will truly speak to your heart, that fulfills your soul. Okay? So, hi, Lil. Yes, so many problems. Oh, that's hard to hear that. But yeah, you get problems. I don't know a person out there that doesn't feel like they don't have a problem. And that's why I think Mother Mary of Unconditional Love wanted me to talk about this today is the importance, of one, start to have a perspective shift of how you hold the problem. So rather than, at first you're going to go, problem. And then you can catch yourself and go, wait a minute, no. There are no problems, there's only opportunities. And that's what Mother Mary of Unconditional Love wants you to start to affirm when you see something that frustrates you, that makes you worry, and you see a problem. Like, oh, wait a minute, there are no problems, there are only opportunities. She keeps repeating this over and over to me because she's saying this is key, that you have to start to go, wait a minute, I was programmed incorrectly. I was told that there were all these problems to make my life hard, to test me, to make me have to work harder. And she's saying this is not true at all. She says that the only reason why you see them as problems is because of your subconscious programming. Okay? That you don't understand how the laws are operating, so you see when you don't get what you desire, it as a problem instead of. And she says, this is important. It took me a while to see that, right? I was laid off and everything for several months before I finally went, maybe something else is trying to happen here. And now what I do when I see something's not going the way I desire it, that doesn't mean I don't try different methods, okay? Or different ways and then that I give up right away, because I don't. But if I see after I do a couple different things and like, it's not working, I go, what's my spirit guide trying to communicate to me? Where's my spirit guide trying to guide me? And this is the thing. How to solve every problem that you're having in your life is about building a relationship with your spirit guides. One where you can ask questions, get guidance, and you trust that relationship enough where you follow the guidance. Okay, that's the key here. You have to be able to have, thank you, Lil. I'm glad that it's helping you. You have to build enough of a relationship with your spirit guides, okay, so that you trust them to do it, even if the guidance makes no logical sense, scares you, okay? In the moment that you get the guidance, you might feel like, oh, that feels true. Because I always feel that way, okay? But when I get out of like the communing time and being connected and I get into my day and I'm working and doing stuff, all of a sudden I'll be like, ooh, it's kind of scary, to move forward on this. Because, it's like one of the things my spirit guides have been guiding me to do right now is to really, start talking more about my spirit guides, because I've gradually been coming out of the closet about them. Now, of course, I do in this live. I talk about them and everything, but um, I don't always share like how great it is that and how much they help me and what they do for me and how they have transformed my life and the way I operate in my life because of my own fears that I've had. Okay, so every one of your problems, which is really an opportunity, is an opportunity, the first opportunity that can make it so that you can get the solution, you can change the results you're getting so that you're not having a problem, but you're having an opportunity of something that's going to lead you to your desired outcome, is that relationship with your guides. How do you actually start to develop it? And the first thing is being open to it. You know, I was doing some communing with Mother Mary. She's one of my spirit guides. And she said, do you know why you have a relationship with your spirit guides and why they started coming to you? She said, why did they start coming to you? And, you know, my logical mind's like, I don't know. I don't know why they started coming to me. And then I got reminded about how I started to create the spirit guide portals. Yogananda came, I wanted to paint Yogananda. And I don't think you can see him. I should go get him. I'm going to go get him real quick just because I want you to see him. I was wanted to paint Yogananda where I felt like he could be seen. Like his energy could be like experienced. I wanted it to be a portal, where a doorway where people could experience him. So I had this desire to create him. And in that creation, I wanted it to be where he, you know, like people would experience his power, his energy, and feel like they were blessed by him. At that time, I didn't even call him portal. I just knew I want people to experience the divine of Yogananda. And me doing that opened up something for me. It made me go, oh, okay, let me do for now Our Lady of Guadalupe, which was another one. And for me, like going down there and following the breadcrumbs of my intuition, of what I was sensing and feeling to do, I started to create these portals. I invited them in by my desire of wanting to create a painting that was like a doorway. I didn't even call them portals back then, a doorway to connecting with that divine soul. And then from doing my spiritual practices and techniques, why I painted, I went from being a non-visual person to getting visions. And so that's when the spirit guides started coming to me, and they started giving me the downloads and wanting me to share with you. See, so I actually invited them in. So I share this story with you because maybe you don't have, like, you haven't had that desire like I have, because maybe you don't paint, all right? But you can have a desire to connect with them and welcome them in. You can say, you know, like, I am open to having a relationship with my spirit guides. I am open and willing and desiring to connect, to know the guidance of my guides. So I encourage you, if you want to have more of that deeper relationship with them, to actually make that actual statement out loud. And they're telling me, Mother Mary's telling me, to have you reaffirm it on a daily basis. So, and one of the ways you reaffirm it is by saying hello to your spirit guides. So you can't see my whole art studio. I'd have to have like a little mobile camera. I've wondered about trying to have a second camera so I could show you certain things. But I have a multitude of different spirit guides, of spirit guide portals in my art studio, because I get these visions and I continue to create them and make the portals. And I have seen some spirit guides lately, I haven't created the portals yet, of an angel of light and a fairy of light. And there's really this light energy coming in right now. And so it's about, even if you don't create a portal, it's about engaging with that spirit guide and asking. Okay, now here's the important part. Why do you need to ask? You know, asking, when you ask for something, what does that make you ready for? To receive, right? When you ask something, you want to receive. If you ask a question, you want to receive an answer. If you ask to borrow money, you want to receive the money. If you ask for food, you want to receive the food, right? And so you don't like push it away or resist it when you ask. So when you ask, you're bringing yourself, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind into receptivity. I am ready to receive. And she's saying that when you're not in receptivity, you're in resistance, you're not going to notice, even though your spirit guides are around you, the messages. You're not going to sense them. Like for me, I'm an empath, so if you're an empath or highly sensitive, you might sense an energy shift or sense a little something, okay, that is just unique for you. And so, like, I can find parking spots in busy places. You go to a festival or something, it's hard to find a spot. I can sense and feel the spot, okay? And my spirit guides speak to me through my feeling nature. Now, it's not feelings of emotions. It's I sense things in my body. Like I feel this pull to go to the right or pull to go to the left to like find the spot, okay? So the spirit guides are saying that in order for you to develop your relationship with them, which is the solution that you're supposed to go to when you have these problems, is to seek higher guidance. And your spirit guides come in to give you that higher guidance. Okay? They're not here to make you wonder. They're here to help make life easier for you. All right? So Mother Mary of Unconditional Love is telling me, this is my little wheel I started doing last live. My spirit guides guided me to be open to what I do here in creation time with you. Always channeling one of my spirit guides or more than one. Right now it's Mother Mary of Unconditional Love. And she's saying that she's the one that tapped me on the shoulder to do this topic about problems, because she said that part of loving yourself unconditionally, part of bringing that vibration of unconditional love into your life, is about embracing the higher guidance that you can receive from your guides, embracing that what seems like a problem is actually an opportunity, because every problem, she says, that shows up is an opportunity for your growth, for your expansion. And that if you were heading down the road of your like clear, completely clear, and completely like 100% in alignment for what you're here to be, do, and have on this planet, you would have no problems. Everything would just be like click, 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 because you had no cross currents, you have no indecision, you just like no. And so she's saying that problems show up on the physical plane because you have cross currents. And the cross currents come from, you have your subconscious programming, which is you were programmed in a certain way, which is going against your superconscious, spiritual, true self. And so that creates conflict, and that creates resistance. The subconscious programming creates your resistance to moving forward on what your true self is trying to get you to go do. So example, the sales job, right? Had several people tell me I should be going outside sales. You'd be good at it. You should go in outside sales. You'd be good at it. And my programming told me that, oh, it's better to have a safe job and get a sure paycheck than to go for a straight commission job. See, so that programming kept going up against where my spirit guides were trying to lead me, where my higher self was trying to lead me. And so they show up trying to help you with that, okay? So we're going to spin this wheel, and if you'll see, it's got different art form, creative mediums on there. And we're going to invite in the guys and spin the wheel and say, you choose which one you want me to do. And if you have it, you can do it too. Because this is about creating an experience for you. I come and I do this once a week on Thursdays. And I want you to get the benefit of what I got of combining creativity and spirituality, the spiritual practices that opened up my gifts. Because I know when your gifts are open, and I don't know which spiritual gifts you need to have revealed, but I know you have some, okay, that it's going to help you and aid you in you stepping into your true self, fulfilling your purpose, being the abundant being that you are, because everyone, including you, is meant to be abundant, meant to be prosperous and wealthy, is meant to be creating a life that you love and feel fulfilled, that you feel like has meaning and purpose on what you're doing. Okay, so let's spin the wheel and check in with what the spirit guides want us to do. And they want me to, that says draw. See, so we're going to get out a pad and we're going to do some drawing today. And I don't even know what we're going to draw, but we're going to continue to share with you more of the guidance around the problems. They're saying if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Let me sharpen my pencil here. It's looking kind of dull. Put them in the comments or the shares. They're not going to give guidance yet, but they're telling me that they will give some later. And the first thing they really want you to put in the comments is, are you wanting that relationship with your spirit guides? Are you having problems that you would love to get higher guidance from? Because that's what higher guidance is about. It's not about like a board game or a trick. You know, I remember when I first got introduced to intuition when I was in my early 20s and readings and all that. Some guy read cards and he did card readings and he said to me, you're skeptical. And I was like around 20, I think I was 20 or something like that. I said, oh, I'm always a little skeptical about things, but I'm open. And he did a reading, and all of a sudden I was like, thank you, Lily. That's good. Do you want a relationship with your spirit guides? I'm so glad to see that. Yeah, they have made a huge difference in my life. And that, you know, just by stating that now, you've opened the doorway to them coming in. I'm curious, Lil, do you have a relationship with them already, or is this something that you're looking to develop? Okay, we got the pencil out a little bit more. Because one of the things I've seen with developing the relationship with my guides, they help me, give me answers. They help me, especially when I'm in that subconscious programming. They help me to get that higher guidance so I can get out of that subconscious programming. Ah, you have it. Cool. Yeah, you want to get clearer messages. That's developing the relationship. So this is something they're telling me to actually work on. This is a vision I had. It's not anything of the vision yet, but I saw these Mother Marys sitting in like a cross-legged position. Some would say lotus, half lotus, and it was really interesting because one was black and one was white. Not black, but dark. And I think I'm going to put this up here so I can draw some of this on here. So that way you can see what I'm doing. So, so this is a Mother Mary I've sketched out. And I was originally going to sketch out, and I might still do that, another one. But one was dark and one was light. And it was like yin and yang. And it was talking to me about when I saw the vision that Mother Mary came and was talking about how, this is just connecting now, Mother Mary's saying that when you see something as a problem, okay, there's a yin and a yang. It's so funny because she said, I want you to work on that drawing that you haven't finished yet. I'm going to create a spirit guide portal of Mother Mary in like a yin and yang. It's going to be a dark side and a light side when I actually get to this. So right now I'm just kind of sketching it out. So I think I will work on this side. So right now I'm just kind of drawing in the shapes because I haven't done this side at all. So she thinks like in everything that you see as a problem, there's a yin and a yang to it, and a darkness and a light to it, she's saying. And that darkness and light, if you're looking at it as a problem, you're in the darkness. Like you can't possibly get the answer of the solution if all you do are in problem consciousness. So she says, in order for you to start to see the opportunity, you have to be willing to start to come to the opposite side, right? The yin or the yang, the dark or the light. And you have to come to the light, right? And she's saying that's why she wanted me to talk about the angel of light. And the thing about the angel of light is most people, when they see angels, they see like winged beings, right? Some of them look human, some of them don't, and they see wings on them. And she wants you to understand, because I had this vision of the angel of light, and when I saw the angel of light, it was no wings. Now, I've had angels come to me, Archangel Gabriel and such, where just drawing in the shapes right now, had wings, but this angel of light had no wings. And so I was like, when I saw the vision, and she says this relates to the problem. It might seem off, but it doesn't. She says it relates to the problem. She says when I saw the vision, she wanted me to share this with you. Excuse me. I was like, who's this? And she came in with this beautiful vision and light and everything. And I was like, who's this? And she said, oh, I'm the angel of light. And I was like, angel of light? You have no wings. So what Mother Mary wants you to understand is if you have a preconceived idea of what you think has to happen to solve the problem, you won't see the solution. So like at first, like because I get these visions, I was able to still see her, but I would not have, if I hadn't been like practicing, having that deep relationship with my guides and everything, I would not have been able to accept that she was an angel. I would have been like, you're not an angel. See, but I was able to go, oh, angels, an angel of light without any wings. Okay, cool. You know, and I sketched it out in my Procreate, which is a program that allows me to So she's saying that that's one of the reasons why you really need your spirit guides to give you that guidance, because we get programmed with preconceived ideas. And she's saying if you really want to start to be open, really open to your guides, ask yourself, what preconceived ideas do you have about spirit guides that you want to let go of? Because those preconceived ideas are what prevent you from getting the message as clear as you like, that prevent you from noticing that your guides are with you because you don't recognize it. Because a lot of times people are looking for guides that meet their specific, here's what I'm looking for as a spirit guide. And one time I had, I do personal spirit guide portals for people so that people can start to develop that relationship with them, their guides. And one of my clients got a spirit guide that I have two unusual ones. One, this is not totally unusual, but it was a spider with a web. Okay, and another one was wings, and they said that it's time for you to put your wings on. And you know, if you have a preconceived idea that I want it to be something else, you're not going to look at that like that spirit guide is there to help me, because you're going to like judge the fact that it's not what I wanted. So yeah, so Mother Mary wants you to really look at the preconceived ideas that you have around your spirit guides, because that's could be blocking your ability to get the guidance you need. So start to receive the messages to solve their perceived problems, which are really opportunities. So what you want to do, even when you're looking at it as an opportunity, is ask your guides, well, what's the opportunity here? What do you want me to act on? Because that's one of the biggest things, is you have to act on the guidance you're getting from your spirit guides. See, if you never act on it, they think, oh, it's not helpful, or you're not ready. A lot of times what they think is you're not ready. They don't force anything. Like if they give guidance and you don't do it, there's no judgment. There's not anything going to bad happen. They just like, oh, they're not ready. They're not ready to do this. Now, for me, you might go, oh, well, but your guides kept leading you down when you wanted to buy a house before you were 30. And you weren't acting, so why did they keep getting? Well, because they don't ever give up. See, they might go, oh, they're not ready, and kind of get quiet for a little while, because when it happened for me, there was many months that went by because I didn't act on it. You know, I was at a point where I was almost out of money. I was at a point where I was not getting, I was going to run out of unemployment pretty soon. And so, you know, they stopped doing it for a little while, but then it came back, like, go get a sales job. And I was like, I don't want a sales job. You know, I want money. I want a job that gives me a safe paycheck, you know. And so I had to get to that place. And that's the thing, is your spirit guides keep putting things there to help you get ready, to help you be open, because they know that the whole reason why you're on this planet is to grow spiritually, to step into your awakening, your path of awakening, to help you be the amazing, powerful being that you are. So this is the great thing about drawing. If you don't draw, you draw shapes and then you erase. So it's like, so you have to, like, and this is the thing. If people, like I see a lot of people try to draw things, and they try to, when I taught in the studio, they would try to draw it perfectly. I'm like, oh no, you draw the shapes first and then you erase things. So you put it in lightly, and then you put in, and then you erase things so that you can get through it faster, because if you're trying to be perfect, it's a lot harder. So I put things in, and then I erase, and then I sketch over. And because as you can see here, I didn't measure anything. Now, I'm not drawing, like if I draw a person that I'm trying to make it look like that person, I would measure the face, and not with a ruler, but like I measure to see like proportions of the face and the nose and everything to make it look exactly like them. But this Mother Mary is not going to look like anybody specific. So anybody want to share a preconceived idea about their spirit guides? What they're here for? Maybe what spirit guides are? Curious. Don't have to, but if you want to share something. Spirit guides would love it if you did. I'm not going to draw the hands in yet. This is just to get an idea. Probably can't see it that well in the drawing, huh? Because it's right. I draw them really light in the beginning, so I get more. Like this is in more detail, but it's not done yet. This Mother Mary here, but this one here, I'm still just working on the details of getting the shapes in, working out the details. It's not going to be done today while we're doing it, but. Mother Mary wants to say that one of the things when you I bought this, but it's like hard as rock. This is, I have to get a new one. Mother Mary was saying, I'm sorry, I was like all into my shape and size. I forgot to finish what she was saying. Mother Mary was saying that when you have problems in your life, and the opportunity that's there is for you to start looking at, like she said, the opportunity, but how can you shift your consciousness when you've been programmed that it's a problem, right? How do you actually start to make it so you can go, wait a minute, this is not a problem, it's an opportunity. And the first thing is, she's saying that you can start to ask yourself, what am I to learn from this? What positive thing that's happening for me am I to learn from this event that's happening? So you ask yourself that. And then she says you want to ask your spirit guides that same question. So you do a prayer of connection with your guides. Thanks, Francis. Welcome. You want to ask that question of yourself, and then you want to ask, like, do a prayer of connection with your guide, your spirit guide, and ask for their guidance, and know that they're here to guide you and give you the higher guidance. And you ask that same question, and you see what kind of answer do you get. Now, when you get that answer, if you're not good with like having it all come in, I suggest like you get a journal and you journal with your spirit guide. In fact, that's what I do mostly for me, because like when I'm doing a session for people, working with, doing mentoring programs and giving spirit guidance of what the spirit guides are guiding them to do, guiding my client to do. It's easy for me just to open my mouth and say what they're saying, but when it's coming from me, it's harder for me to do that, right? It's like coming in and I'm like, oh, but then I can't necessarily retain it all because it's for myself. So even when I do the sessions, the mentoring programs, I record everything because it comes in and I'm the translator, and I can't always repeat back unless I connect back in. Like if later they're asking me questions and they say, oh, what about blah, blah, blah? I'll remember that I said it, but I'm like, the exact wording, I have to connect back to get that for you, you know. So. So I'm curious, Lil, you said that you have you have a relationship with your guys. What would you like to see? I know you said you want clearer, to see more clearly. So is it that when you get the message, you don't know what the message means? Or you're doubting that it's a message from your guides? I'm curious. So I'd love to hear, because this could help everybody who watches this live or in the recording, because people often have doubt. Is it my spirit guide? So you probably can't see very much of it, but this is what I sketched out shortly, just real quick here. I'll bring it closer so you guys can see. This is going to be part of the yin and yang. So it's done really lightly. Whoopsie. Can I get it in there? See? Because I'm going to, I have to still do some more measuring and stuff to see and work out the details. But that's the darker one I've done. It's messing me up because it's the opposite. And there's the lighter one we just kind of sketched in. So, so Mother Mary is saying that if you have a question, please feel free to ask. She's open to giving some guidance. This is like a terrible. I gotta buy a new one. You want to be better in listening. All right, let me ask her what she says about that. All right. So she's asking me to ask you, Lil, when you say you want to be better in listening, do you feel, I don't know why she's saying, but she says, do you feel like you're not a good listener? Like if you were talking to actually a person, do you feel like you're not a good listener? She's asking me to ask you that. So she's asking, like, well, so she wants you to answer that. Are you a good listener? You think you are? Okay. So she's saying if you think you are, what makes you think you're not a good listener when it comes to the spirit guides? If you could share that. She's the whole thing I want you to get with the spirit guides when I'm doing, like when I work with people, is that she sometimes, or he, or there's no gender to the spirit guides, but whatever spirit guide is there, they often ask me to ask you things because they're helping you to have an aha. Sometimes if they just tell you right away, it doesn't have as much impact as if you start to go, like that. That's the transformation we're hoping, or the spirit guides want to give you. So when you work with them, you want to, like if they ask you a question, you want to answer it, because that question is about helping you engage and start to go, I'm shifting my consciousness here by being engaged with you. So she was asking about like that. So what makes you think that you're not a good listener with the spirit guides? Because you said you want to be better in listening. And so there's something that makes you think you're not that good at it when it comes to listening to spirit guides. So is it because you're like you doubt, or maybe you think nothing's coming to you? Maybe you're listening for words. So she's asking me to ask you to answer that question, and then she's going to come through with more of a message. But she wants you to answer that for yourself first. What makes you think you're not a good listener when it comes to listening to your guides? I'm going to give you a minute to type in. So I'm going to stop drawing for the moment, because it's when I'm channeling my guides, I like to just really be kind of present with it all. Okay, you think you're missing things. She's asking me to ask you, like, how do you receive the messages from your guides? Is it words coming in? Is it impressions? Is it like, how are you receiving it? So that way she can guide you on how you can overcome this thing about. Okay, so she's saying that whenever you're in fear, you can't fully receive the message. Okay, because she's saying that she can see that right now that you're, you have an instant knowing. Okay, okay, that's good, instant knowing. How do you know the instant knowing is your guide, right? That's probably what you're probably thinking, she's saying. So she's saying that if you're in fear of, I'm afraid I might be missing something, I'm afraid I'm not here getting it all, that fear is going to prevent you from receiving the rest of the message, the whole message. It's going to prevent you from actually understanding the depth of the message. Because she wants people to understand that when you get messages from the spirit guides, sometimes we get a message and we have like a surface understanding, right? You kind of understand it, but then maybe as you look at that guidance a week later, a month later, you're like, oh, I get this at a different level. Okay. Now here's the important thing that Mother Mary's telling me that you have to do is when you get what you get, whatever you get, you have to then act on what you know so far. Okay. Just be willing to go, even though this doesn't make any sense to me, I'm going to act on it so far right now. Okay. So she wants me to share with you. So like I got this vision about 2 years ago, I think it is almost now, a year and a half, of Mother Mary, and she was playing a guitar. And I'm like, never had that vision before. And I'm like, okay, Mother Mary's coming to me and she's playing a guitar. And I'm like, all right, Mother Mary, what's the message you're trying to send to me in this? And it was like, okay, I go, okay, I think the message I'm getting so far is that she wants me to learn how to play a guitar. I didn't own a guitar. Couldn't play a guitar. So we got me a guitar. And like, made no sense, but I got a guitar, started like teaching myself through these lessons, online lessons and stuff. Now, I'm not a great player. But then all of a sudden I was playing, all I can really do, I don't have a finger pick or anything, I just play chords. But I was like, oh, this feels like a song, this feels like a song. And I kept feeling that way. So I started playing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I got the little like different chord progression that I was going to play that felt like a song, and then all of a sudden words started coming in, and it became a song for my Holy Mary Mother of Sincerity. I'm going to go get her too, so you can see. I'll be right back. I got like all things, guides all over the place in my art studio, so I'm just going over here to get it. So I got this song that I created for, this is Holy Mary Mother of Sincerity, and it's all about being sincere. And so I wrote this little song. Now, I'm not going to be putting it out there on social media, or I don't think so at this point, but I feel like there's supposed to be these songs for the different spirit guides, these songs that carry part of the blessing and the message that they have. And so, the song was written, and I sing it, and it makes me happy, and I sing it with Mother of Sincerity. And who knows what the next thing will be, but you act on what you know so far. The next guidance might be I have to do it on social media, of which, like, that really scares me, because I'm not a singer. I have no training in singing. I do not play the guitar well, but I'm like, I'll just be open. Right now, it's just sing it for myself. Sing it for the Spirit Guide Portal to go along with it. There might be some time I offer it as giving it as when people, like this one I haven't made into a G clay yet. And the G clay is a high-end reproduction that doesn't fade like if you were to print it at home. But I have many different G clays of different spirit guides. Like I have Heart Chakra and Glow. She's on my website. I have some of them on my website, but I'm behind. But there might be some time that when people buy one, they get a recording of the song. And I preface it with, I am not a great singer, because that would enable me to let it be, So you got to work with yourself where you are. So does that make sense, Lil? About what she's saying about act on what you know so far, because as you act on it, you're going to get deeper understanding of what it meant. And you might go, oh, I thought it meant this, and now I realize it means this, okay, as you start to do it. So, Lara, I don't know if I've seen you before. Lara, I'm not sure how you say your name. Oh, you get a voice in your head, a feeling in your body. Yes, I get a lot of that, because I'm an empath. Empaths, if you're an empath or highly sensitive, often if you're new to your spirit guides or your intuition and trusting it speaks a lot through your body. Like I get senses and feelings in my body, and I had to learn how to trust that, because I would be like, is this just me? And it's like, yeah, it might be just me, but that doesn't mean it's not true. And that's something I'm working on to this day, of like, if it's just me, doesn't mean it's not true. So, yeah, so you're often in fear. So how do you move yourself out of that fear, right? Because in order to be a clear channel, you really have to get out of that fear. And one of the biggest fears, like when I work with my clients, is I can't be fearful about being wrong. Like if you're worried about, oh, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm the translator. That's how I work at it. I'm the translator. If you work with me on an ongoing program or in a session or something, I'm translating. So I give you the guidance that the guide's giving me. I ask the questions they're asking me to ask you. And then I go, does that make sense? And if someone says, no, that doesn't, I check back with my guides and ask, well, give me how to say this differently so it makes sense to them. And then I repeat that. So it's a little different when you're doing it for yourself. You can still ask your guide, if they give you guidance, what does that mean? Because sometimes I get stuff and I'm like, okay, I see a vision, I get a sensing, like the feelings in my body are easy ones because I know what they feel like, okay? But if it's a vision, I'd be like, okay, what does that mean? And then they give me more, okay? So, but that relationship you have to develop. Oh, never seen, okay, well, one thing that you remind my Lara is if you haven't seen before, please subscribe. Because that way you'll get notified for the next live. Turn on the notifications. That way you'll definitely get notified for the next live. And if you like what you're seeing, please give me a thumbs up, a like, because it all helps my channel. So that way, because I'm going to be on next week. I don't know what the guides are going to have me talk about, but there's definitely going to be next week. Oh, you like dancing? Yep, dancing does help move fear. That's one of the things for having it. It's if you move, it can help move it out. I had when I went into outside sales, when I first went into it, I would have a lot of fear because I'd be like, oh my God, I got to go cold call, and I got to go do these things. And I read this in a book one time, Action Cures Fear. And so I started to take action, and I found it's true. Like once you put your body in motion to do like the very thing you're afraid of, it begins to diminish. Now, I'm not saying it's gone 100%, but it starts to diminish. So when you're working with your guides, part of the action you have to take is taking the guidance and acting on it. So Lil, I saw you say, aha, so is that all making sense what the Spirit Guide's message was for you, Lil? Just because I didn't see you put anything else up there. And Laura, I'm glad to see you there. I hope to see you again. If you have a question, we're going to wrap it up pretty soon, but they had opened this up if people have questions. And I'm going to be launching a membership. So if anybody is looking to get on, I'm going to be launching it probably in the next couple months. If you're looking to be in a like-minded community that's here to really help you with how do you get out of your head of the overthinking of the fear and all that and get into your heart and trust your advice of your guides. Oh, that's okay, Lil. I just, I didn't know if you hadn't heard me or not, because I know that sometimes people have other things going on. So it sounds like you're getting home late today, because usually you're already home at the time that I come on live. At least I thought you were. So it looks like you're working overtime. So I was going to say, where'd it go? Here it is. So if you want to get on my wait list and become a founding member, because founding members are going to get some special benefits, a reduced price, get some special services I'm going to do, because it's going to be all about how do we help you, empower you to connect with your guides, empower you with working the spiritual laws and knowing the truth, help you heal those most pervasive beliefs, that are, stopping you. Because like the fear, Lara, how that stops you, the fear, the questioning, the doubting, all that stops us, from following that higher guidance. And then creativity. How do we help you awaken your gifts? Because you have spiritual gifts that are just waiting to come out. I didn't know I had this gift of sight, of visions of the spirit guides and having this relationship with them. And when I started doing the creativity with the spirituality, it took me from a non-visual person to getting these visions and meditation of these spirit guides and getting the downloads and giving them and being able to see other people's spirit guides. It was just amazing. So I always recommend, subscribe, great. You're traveling to Spain from Belgium. Wow, that sounds exciting. Hopefully it's vacation. But even if it's work, it's exciting, right? To go someplace new and different. So very cool. So anyway, if there's no other questions, we will be on next Thursday, July, 9th, I think it is. Same time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to spin the wheel to see which we'll be doing. I'm hoping at one point we're going to get clay, because clay is so much fun. And this clay here is a clay that doesn't dry out. You can reuse it, do all kinds of cool things with it. But the spirit guides are the ones that guide me. The drawing was fun for me, but I noticed you guys can't really see it that well. So we'll be experimenting. I might be drawing and holding it up closer, not up here. I thought it was going to be better holding it up there. Happy birthday, Lil. How cool is that? All right. I don't see any questions from anybody. But thank you, everybody. I love to see it when you come, and I love when you give shares and comments, because the spirit guides are here for you. They want to give you messages. They want to help you in your life. They want to help you overcome any problems, any doubts, any worries. Their big thing they want for you is to help you step into your powerful being that you are. Right? That you get on your path of awakening and you stay on it. That path of awakening is about you growing spiritually, growing your gifts, growing into your purpose of why you're here on the planet, of what you're here to be, do, and have. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to get going. All right. Take care. See you next week.